Okay, gonna make a short video here. I'm gonna make a couple of videos here in the next few weeks. We got some maintenance to do on the bikes. Get them covered a little bit. There. I'm having some running issues with this one. I don't know if that boot is ripped or not, but it acted like it had a vacuum leak there. It could be from the vacuum hose that runs over to the pitcock. But anyways, it's been acting like, I can see it's been leaking gas. So that might be our issue. Anyways, I never cleaned a carb, and this thing is 25 years old. So I don't know if it's ever been cleaned or not. I'm gonna pull the carb off and do work on that. Give it a cleaning. I'm gonna replace that intake gasket, intake manifold, boot, whatever, there. It's a precautionary measure. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I already got it coming. Might be a vacuum leak in there, but that shouldn't affect the running that much. But anyways, it was running fine, and then it started acting, it would run and then stall, run and then stall. And then we had all kinds of idle issues, and then we found it was the cables. Between here and here, up in here, the cable had to be adjusted. So we got some issues going on there that's going to have to be addressed. We thought we took care of it, but now it'll start up. It'll want to run. You get on the road, you go half a mile, whatever, it starts backfiring, spitting, sputtering, and running out of gas. At least it acts like it's running out of gas. And then you crank, can't get it started. You let it sit a while, it still won't start. You turn the pitcock almost completely off, so it's just a dribble, and then it fires up and runs. And it'll run for a while, and then it'll do the same thing, and then you can't get it started until you turn the gas back on. So I can't tell if I'm getting too much fuel or too little fuel. It's definitely a carb issue. Maybe, might be that freaking cheap vacuum pumping pitcock. But see the sight glass on this thing. We shut it off, but we had can't see. Let me try. Well, I can't turn the light on, so good, but I can't tell if there's oil in that sight glass or not. Tip it up, it should be there. Should see it, but it looks like it's full right now, so that means it was leaking gas. You know, if it's a stuck float valve, it could leak gas into the oil, into the motor, and that can cause a major issue. So we're not going to run it. We're going to get clutches down in there. We're going to get the boot and for it. The O-ring's coming for it in case it doesn't have it in the kit. You can pull that carb off, give it a good cleaning. I got a gasket and some needle valves and all that to replace. And go through that and make sure that's all doing good. And then we're going to change the oil. We're not changing the filter because we don't even have 1,000 miles on the oil, and the filters are not that old. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Probably should change them, but I don't have to. What we're going to do is drain the oil out, let it set and drain for a few hours, and then put fresh oil in it. If there's a little bit of gas in the fibers of the filter, then they'll wash through. It shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be. Some people will be like, well, technically, you know the type. So that's going to be one thing. Another one is to change these fork seals. As you can see, this dust one has got a nice crack there. Does on that one. unlike mine, look on my bike. Yeah, look at all that oil leaking down. That one is blown seal. So that's got to be done on that bike. But on the wife's bike, we're going to start with the carb, get that done, get the fork seals done. And we're going to address the chain. Yeah, I put a new chain on it last year, but it's looking kind of but it may be looking like because at one point I lubed it and I used white lithium because that's what I had at the time of where I was at. And so I've got white lithium grease. Not going to hurt anything, but that makes leave that white grease residue. Sorry about that. Gotta put you down for a second. So white lithium grease on there kind of makes it look corrody and shit at a distance. You get up close. So we're gonna hit it with brake clean and an old toothbrush, scrub it down good, and then re-lube it with some, I don't know, bar oil, chain oil, any kind of lubricant oil. There's so many arguments about what you're supposed to use and what not to use. If it's lubricated and it stays on there, then it's, good enough oil. Especially if you're cleaning it and moving it every week like you're supposed to be. I don't, but then again, I'm just getting started. She's got new tires. I got factory tire, original. I got a new tire inside that matches that one. It's 9mm smaller. So I don't know if you can tell the difference between them two tires. But, and then I got a back tire ordered. So when I do mine, I pull the tire off, do the tire. When that's off, I'm pulling the forks and doing the fork seals. Put it back on. I do the back tire, I'm pulling it off, and I'm going to have a chain. I'm going to put a new chain on. So all these videos are coming this spring, here in the next few weeks. Right now it's like 45 degrees. You see, no snow, grass looks like shit, yard looks like shit because snow's gone and grass ain't growing yet. But we're going to have, here in a couple days, it's going to be in the 60s and storming, of course. But yeah, we are going to make several videos for you. Just gotta wait for the days to do it. Alright, that's all I got. Thank you.